Stephanie, who owns Lightfoot, told us she wants to do a lot of cooking outside. So what we did is we developed this little utility kitchen for outdoors. This module is going to sit in the sliding door opening. The galley peninsula comes into the door opening. Typically, we would put a folding table here for the outside. This is a little bit different. We're going to have cupboard doors right here, 2 adorable cupboard doors, and that will give you this whole interior shelf space for storage in the galley, and you access that also from the front of the galley in the hall in the van. So then this is a drawer inside of a drawer. I've got to put a little blocking under it to hold it until we plug it in. So you've got a drawer here that opens out. Then this piece will be hinged, and this will come open to give you this nice big work area. It's a buried hinge. And then if you needed something inside this drawer, you would have to lift it up, take it out, put this back down. When you're done cooking, this goes in place. This drawer closes, and then the next drawer closes. This is one of the dinette benches. There's a little dinette that runs north-south on the driver's side of the van, just across from the galley. And we've built it in such a way that it will convert into a single bed for Stephanie's sister, who may travel with her a couple times a year. She'll have a place to sleep. Also, I think Stephanie's dog is going to find this a very comfortable bed every night that they're traveling. This bench does double duty. This is where we're going to house the toilet. And we are putting in a shorter version of the Trolino, the one that I put in the Big Beautiful Beast. Well, this is the same toilet. I think it's called Evo. This one is shorter. I can put this one in the mini-me's as well. So about 2 inches. The other one was 17 high. This one I think is 15 high. Slides right into that dinette seat. And of course, we'll have a nice, beautiful cover here. But that's only the one part of the dinette. The other part is far more interesting. Wait till you see this. This has got part of the Webasto heating system. Over here, we've got a duct. This is a heating vent, right? So we're going to be blowing hot air up and towards the front of the van. Then on this side, we've got another duct. This is where the galley returns. There's an L-shaped galley, and it ends here. This is going to blow air up and across into the galley. So the whole van is going to get picked up with hot air from 2 locations, opposing directions. This is the internal guts of this thing. Isn't this cool? So this is the bulkhead. This is the van, the bulkhead, living quarters, garage. Okay, the end of the bed is right there. Webasto sits right here. In the Ford vans, this is an ideal spot to put your Webasto heater right next to the wheel well. See this area? Wheel well. You'll see all this installed. Wheel well here, Webasto right there, alongside the water tank, sucking the air, sucking the cold air from the garage, heating it up, sending it up front. What's going to happen is you're going to get convection. That warm air is going to find its way back down and through here again, because we're pulling air from under the garage. The other thing we have in here is our BMS for the battery system, battery management system. So that's going to sit in here. Battery is in the return L of the galley right there. Again, you'll see this all when we install it. So the battery plugs in here. BMS, I run my lines to my breakers. So this guy is under that bench over the wheel well. See, the wheel well comes right down in here. You'll see this installed in about 5 minutes. Here's what I'm talking about. See this little dinette? It's adorable. So we got black laminate kick plates. We got a lagoon table that swings out of the way, so then Stephanie can climb up into the bed. Very nice. Oh, quick look at what we got going on here. That's all you get to see. It's beautiful. Wait till you see it. Under this bench is the toilet. And then this is the one I told you about with the BMS. Working with 2 hands here. There you go. Now you can see how that tucks in nice and tidy. And if I ever have to work on this stuff, easy peasy. There's your little, there's a heater down there. That's an exit. Another one over here. That one's going to go right up the wall and across. And that one is going to come right across to the galley. You can see here how I've got my battery. The Big Mama Luke is sitting on the floor, and then I've got two massive drawers for clothing, and they can come out and you have access to the back of the breaker panel. That's where all your wires are going to run through for the big stuff. And on this side, we're sneaking a bicycle in. Going to be very, very cool. This is a great van because there's no shower box. Oh, look at that. How beautiful. I love the motion in these curves. Look at how beautiful this dining table is on top of a lagoon arm, right? All about the curves. This table can swing right out of the way, and then Stephanie can climb right up into her 48-inch bed. Hello, this is the Capsule. The Capsule is a company that makes these bump outs. Flare Space is the other one you might know about. I chose these. I thought they were a better fit, a better product in terms of the bump out or capsule itself. The window, however, I purchased from Flare Space. They have a little bit of a better window for what this client wants to do. They both fit. You can put that window in either Flare Space or the Capsule. This is a nice product. I have to say, the way this fits against the side of the Sprinter, it's flawless. I'm telling you, it is flawless. It's the best mold I've ever seen. This is fiberglass. I'm sending them out for paint now. Took us a while. We were waiting for the internal trim rings and finish walls to come for the second time. The first set we ordered, they came promptly and they were severely damaged. I called the company, and to their credit, they immediately responded, immediately sent out a fresh set of internal products, and they were very well packaged this time, and they came in okay. So now we were able to fit it all together through the cutout in the van side, and now we're going to send these out for paint. There's a consideration that you need to know about if you want these flare spaces or these capsules, and it has to do with bed height, which in turn affects your garage height. Here's your window in the flare, right? I'll call it capsule because these are capsule. And then this little template here, this is part of the insert surround, finished insert surround that goes in this. So there's a couple of things you can do here. If you want your bed, your mattress, they make custom mattresses, Capsule does, that the mattress comes into the capsule and then continues on its way. That would make this my bedboard height. I put a 1/2-inch plywood bedboard and the mattress goes on that. So I would have to measure out that bedboard so that that 6-inch mattress can come in here. But look at what that does. That brings your mattress height up to here, roughly. So look at your window. Your window is basically at your feet or at your head on the other side. The other way to do this is you could bring the mattress, stop the mattress at this point. So the top of the mattress is flush with the opening. It doesn't do you much good as far as putting your feet or your head in there, but maybe some pillows or the pillow. That means that your garage would be down this low. If you want to get a bike underneath, you'd have a problem. So these are the two considerations when you talk about getting these flares, these capsules. So right now, the way my client is going to have these things set, we're going to have a 34-inch height to the top of my bedboard. And then the mattress, he'll get the custom mattress, which is probably 6 inches thick. This would be ideal with a 48-inch mattress. There, right there, like I put in Lightfoot. 48-inch mattress, which is a really nice bed size for a single individual, and it is definitely doable if you have two people in the bed. Maybe not all the time, but you could do 48 inches with two people. Then the capsule makes a lot of sense. With a 60-inch bed, you don't have a lot of room here, so you just need to know that. Now you've got a little bit of information to chew on before you cut a hole this big in the side of your van. And I'm working on Terry's Mini-Me. This is the one that's got the passenger seat removed and the flooring goes all the way into that wheel well, that footwell, with a couple of storage boxes. Really nice. It looks really sweet. You could actually use that as a single bed area if you had to have a second person in here. Anyway, I'm working on physical plant. I've got this just about ready to do the tighten up, and then I can proceed over to the galley and get that all wired up. All of our modules, the 80/20 work is done. We've got our wall panels in. The ceilings are ready to go. Here's our garment tray. So we're moving along. This one's going to be done pretty soon. And we got another new addition to the shop here. This is a jet bandsaw. And we're going to be using this mostly to resaw wood so we can get it to the thickness we want to use it at. But I got this used and it's in very good condition. So we're adding this to the arsenal. We will be moving across that wall very soon, probably 2 weeks. We have the wall being scheduled to get cut away right under that wreath. The Christmas wreath that Victoria gave me. I think her daughter made that, van number 1. So we're cutting a big hole, double door hole in the wall there. And all this tooling is going on the other side. And this area in a few weeks is going to be nothing but vehicles. Vehicles on both sides of this space. Another new addition, nice little piece of equipment, of course, goes hand in hand with resawing on the bandsaw, is a planer. So we got this nice gutsy DeWalt planer. So once the wood comes off the bandsaw, we'll run it through the planer a few times. Oh boy, do we need to get to that new space. It's getting very crowded in here, but we're busy working. We got some great surprises to show you over the next few weeks. You can call this Stallion. This is Amir's van. He's got 4 show dogs. So we're building this out for him. This is the entrance on the slider. We've got 2 dog cages stacked, one on top of the other with a cabinet above. How's that dog going to get into that top cage, you ask? I'll tell you. Then we come down the line here, and this is going to be a countertop with a hidden shower and toilet. Then we've got a cabinet and the Cruise 130 refrigerator. That sits on top of my battery, my Big Mama Luke, which is over the wheel well. Because down here in the back, 2 more dog cages, bigger than the ones up front. And they are under the bed. We're going to build the dog cages, and these are going to be an integral part of the framing back here. So the bed is going to be supported by these dog cage frames. We'll build those out of 80/20. And then down here along this side, you can see that box there represents my Victron inverter. I've got room here for my breakers. On this side, I'll have my, there's my water heater. My water tank sits on the wheel well behind the galley. And we got a decent sized galley in this van, considering everything else we have. Cabinet over the top, over a nice long galley. I'm going to get a bank of drawers in there. Then we're leaving this space open for a hassock, an ottoman. That hassock, or ottoman, depending on which word you want to use, is going to be the dining seat. That passenger seat will swivel. We'll put a lagoon table in the middle, and these 2 can dine in comfort, facing one another. Then that hassock gets slid over to the end of the aisle so they can get into bed. We can't put any kind of a slide step of any fashion because the dogs need to get in and out of their cages. We've got to leave this area wide open for them. Pretty crazy, huh? It's going to work, though. It's going to work. Got cabinets over their feet, cabinet above here. This is the shower. Let me show you how this shower works. So this is going to be a countertop because this is all we have for the galley. It's not as long as I would typically want to put in a van of this size and stature. So we're leaving this as a countertop, but then it also doubles as your toilet and shower. And what we'll do here, obviously this bar won't be here, but you'll have your controls will be down here in the box, and we'll have a shower curtain that comes up and clips around the ceiling nice and wide, and then tunnel down in. This is 32 by 25. So it's a decent sized shower bathroom. It's a decent sized shower, 32-25. If we put in a full size shower box here, I feel it's going to be too confining. You're just going to put so much mass in this van, you're not going to feel right. You won't be comfortable in here. And you'd be giving up the counter space, which I think you're going to need for prep, for working with the dogs. Cabinet above there, cabinets here. I think we packed a lot into this van, including these 4 dog cages. I can't wait to start this build. So these cages under the bed, you'll have door access back here and also into the aisle up front. Nice size. And as I said, that represents my inverter. I'll have all my breakers there. And the way I'm going to work this access is that this entire cage wall will be removable. As I said, I'm going to build these cages out of 80/20 myself, so I have full control. And these outer walls will be removable, easily removable. And also, I got to make sure the dogs can't get their paws through this caging to start flipping the breakers on and off. Wouldn't that be funny? They'll probably be solid wall. And then we'll have a cage opening back here and up front. And all 4 of these cages are going to be climate controlled. I'll be very careful about heat, and I'll make sure there's cool air blowing into each cage. This part of the floor that you see that is not covered by plywood, that is going to be radiant heat. So from now on, I think all of my larger vans are going to have 2 or 3 zones of radiant and passive radiant heat, as well as cabin air blowing, hot water heat. And the reason I'm leaving this open like this is because we're developing a floor system where we will have access to this area in the future if we had to make a repair. This is going to be a hydronic system with glycol. So if we had to make a repair to that tubing, we just pop this floor section up and we have access to it. And then we'll have a passive radiant heat that will be a toe kick on the galley. Once you have that air coming under the toe kick, there'll be a heating element on the floor in the back. And then we'll have a gap, an air gap at the top here. So that hot air is going to come up along this wall and it'll suck the cold air in on the floor and you get convection. You know how I feel about convection. Barry is a friend of ours. He comes into the shop a day or 2 each week to help out. Another set of hands. Barry has a Winnebago Revel and decided he would like a bench seat in the rear garage under the levitating bed. So we built this bench using 80/20, of course. ABS panels on the front and an access door on the end of the bench. We hinged the bench top lid so he can access the entire bench storage area from the top.